Hi guys, I'm here today to talk about my experiences of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or complex PTSD, as part of Stress Awareness Month. Complex PTSD is a stress disorder, as you might have guessed from the name. It's developed as a response to multiple episodes of trauma, usually beginning in childhood or adolescence. Often, as was the case with me, it involves a lot of different types of trauma too. It does cause permanent changes to the structure of the brain. Like with many mental health issues these days, PTSD and complex PTSD are often misunderstood, even by professionals. For us to experience these issues, we can also have to put up with a lot of stigma and misinformation. For me, I was told I was depressed and that I had insomnia or irregular emotions, and that things would just get better on their own, or that I just needed sleep. Not only was this wrong, but it was so unhelpful for me. It made me turn on myself and blame myself for things beyond my control. Hopefully today, though, I can show you what I now know about myself and complex PTSD, so you can better understand people like me, and I can inspire those on similar recovery journeys to speak out. We all have a unique story to tell, and I can attest to how life-changing it can be to own your own story and share it with the world. I'm going to start off my explanation of what complex PTSD is actually like by beginning even before my day starts. Sleep, my ultimate nemesis. It's a time when my defenses are down and it's impossible to take control and fight back. For me, I experience night terrors where I relive events from my past and not the good ones. It's like I'm actually there, acting it all out again, not just watching from a distance. Can you imagine how badly that affects my quality of sleep and my ability to function every day as a result? When I wake, sometimes I'm lucky and I just feel like I've been punched all around all night. But really, it's just the effects of what I've been through to stay with me, not the details. This leaves me disorientated, unable to find my bearings, and not quite sure of myself or why I'm feeling the way I am. That can be a blessing though, as sometimes I'm left with the realities of what I've been living in my dreams. On these days, it's hard to work out what is real and what isn't, because it's all real to me, and I can't quite figure out if I'm living in the past or the present. I tend to try and begin my days by funneling straight into some kind of distraction techniques, whether it's video editing, gardening, seeing my kids, or meeting with my sport team. This helps me put my issues to one side and be in the moment. They're always there lurking in the background though, ready to strike at any time. On a good day, I can feel connected to the present and I can concentrate on what's around me, and I feel I'm actively getting through my day. I have successes and I see the examples of where I'm at and the good things I'm doing for myself and my kids. I have a huge list of triggers though that tap into the traumas I've been through, and any one of them can take a good day and turn it upside down. Being awake and triggered is easier than when I'm asleep, as at least I stand a fighting chance. It's not easy though, and on any given day, I'm actively using a dozen different defense mechanisms just to have a conversation with people I love. People often look at me and don't realize everything that's happening for me in that moment. I experience flashbacks that are so real, it's like it's happening all over again. I hear sounds and voices associated with my traumatic history. I feel contact on my skin that isn't there anymore. And sometimes I even see things in my mind that feel like they're right there in front of me. When it's bad, though, it's not just one thing. It's like I'm living 5 different events all at the same time. My brain connects my experiences together, jumping from one to another like it's conducting electricity across invisible iron poles in my mind. It does this all without giving me a second to catch my breath, so taking control can be a real struggle. I struggle to stay in the present as my mind is so focused on the past, and that's my daily life. I fight all day and then know that sleep is waiting for me. So I stay up late and work on distracting myself and building up my emotional reserves because I know I'll need them by the morning. Explaining what all of this is like to others can be very frustrating. People mostly can't seem to accept that it can be this bad. I do feel blessed though, that I understand so much more than I did before. Education, that's been such a good coping strategy for me and is absolutely the reason why I'm able to cope with what I go through. I now know about the biological and psychological processes happening in the background that makes me feel more normal and less to blame for what I experience every day. I've learned so much about myself and my condition thanks to counselling, support from home group, and my own drive to research and understand myself. And that's been a real gift. On top of that, though, I also rely on gardening, being in nature, as being connected to the earth helps me feel at peace and in control. I also record footage of my video gaming and let my creative side run wild. I take this and make videos that tell stories I can channel my experiences into. Mostly, I use peer support as my main coping mechanism. Understanding from others is so key, and it means the world to me. It's why I've set up my own YouTube channel that I use to stream video games. Unleashing my fun and childish side while sharing how I'm feeling means I can give and receive peer support from guys who appreciate just how hard living with a stress disorder, or really any mental health problem, can be. If I could sum up my experiences, though, I'd rely on the quote I came up with a few months ago, and I think it says it all, really. Living with complex PTSD or complex post-traumatic stress disorder is like having your brain hardwired to rewind, while your body stands there on pause, surrounded by people who have found the play button. Knowledge is power, and one day I'll find that button too. Thanks for listening to my story.